It's a good thing we're all on the same side.
Right, right. Michael, as the director of Coal Miner's Daughter, I think whenever people realize that they're seeing real people portrayed on the screen, the first thing that comes to their mind is how much of it is fact and how much is fiction.
Well, it's all fact. I mean, there's nothing in the film that hasn't happened. We have to take certain liberties. We have to concentrate sort of things and whatever, and restructure things, because you've got to make a film that works. You're dealing with 30 years of someone's life, or 20 years of someone's life, and you've got to tell that story in 2 hours. But there's nothing in the film that isn't true. There's nothing that didn't happen. As I said, 1 or 2 scenes are a mixture of a lot of different things that would have happened over a great space of years. I mean, we have to, at the end of the film, concentrate 12 years into 10 minutes of film. But there's nothing in it that is invented. I mean, it all took place.
How much control did Loretta have over the script and the final product?
Well, I mean, she had 2 areas of influence. I mean, she always read every draft and would talk to us about it and give us advice and criticisms and whatever about it. And she was very helpful on that and very interested. I mean, she'd given us a carte blanche. I mean, she'd said, if it's true, tell it. There's no suggestion that the film is trying to glamorize or sentimentalize or whitewash any part of her career or life. And the other way that she and Mooney were very helpful were with Tommy and Cissy. Loretta was helpful with Cissy in helping her with the singing and with choosing costumes and just generally making herself available. So whenever Cissy wanted to talk about things, or talk about the script, talk about events that weren't in the script that would be part of her preparation for the role, both Loretta and Mooney were very available and accessible to the 2 actors. Once we started shooting, they both kept away completely, and they only wanted to see the film when it was finished, when it was completely as we all wanted it.
Tommy Lee, what was Mooney's reaction to the film? What has he said to you?
He loved it. He really loved it. He told me a couple of days ago, I saw him here in Los Angeles, and he was Mooney's not a talkative person, but he carried on for a couple of minutes about how much he liked it and how much it reminded him of other incidents in his life and how it was like reliving the early days of his life. I found it was very moving for me to hear him say that.
Why do you think they continue their relationship? Because it's been tempestuous.
They're crazy. I don't know. They've lost their minds, Bobbie. It's the only thing I can figure. They're just insane.
You think the day will ever come when they'll each go their separate ways, really, I'm speaking of a divorce?
That's not for me to say, but on a guess, if I had to bet on it, I'd say no.
No.
I think they'll stay together, but it's none of my business. I don't know why we're even talking about it.
When you first talked with Mooney, was there anything that he asked you not to do or not to portray, or?
Well, he was worried that I wasn't good-looking enough to play him, but that's about all.
You did have to change your looks a great deal.
Yeah, I did. That's right.
Lightened your hair. Anything else?
Yeah, about all the way through their marriage, Mooney developed a dental problem in the front of his mouth. Loretta claims she knocked one of his teeth out, but what it is a tooth that goes a little sideways. So we constructed one of those, and he gains weight in the course of the story, so we built a rubber beer belly. That's about all.
Is his drinking problem really worse than it's portrayed in the film?
I don't know.
We read that that it is a severe problem. Do you know one way or the other?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Yeah. Both of you have worked with Laurence Olivier, and he is, in many people's opinion, the ultimate actor. And I wonder for you, Tommy, when you worked with Olivier, did you feel at all intimidated or uncomfortable?
No. It's like an art student going to a life study class with Matisse. You don't feel intimidated. It's just a giant sitting next to you, that's all. He's a very generous man and kind, and he's very funny. He's just a pleasure to be around and an inspiration. It's everything you'd expect from working with a major talent. Genius.
Michael, when you worked with Olivier, here you're a director. The first time that you ever had to say, no, don't do it that way, I would prefer this, how did you approach him?
Well, I mean, only to reiterate what Tommy said, it's frightening, but it has to be done. You have to do the job, and I'm sure he would have had no respect for me as a director if I hadn't, expressed my opinions or whatever, but he's an incredibly generous man. He's a fine actor, and like all major talented people, I suppose he's always willing to learn, and he doesn't think that he knows all the answers. And he and I had quite a boisterous time on our little number that we did together. But he was always very generous, and he never tried to intimidate me or, overrule me or have me taken off the project, as it were.
When it would come to something, though, where you had total disagreement, who won?
Well, frankly, I did. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm a hero, but I mean, he realized that I was directing the thing. He let me direct it. He wanted me to direct it. He'd hired me to direct it because he was the producer of the thing. So I think he thought it would be foolish in front of the other actors, or because we had some other major actors in it, Alan Bates, Malcolm McDowell, and whatever. I think he realized that I had to direct the thing, and so he allowed me to do it.
It's been very nice talking with both of you today here in Los Angeles, and I think the film has tremendous possibilities for awards, not just public acceptance, but awards. Tommy, I expect to see you nominated this time next year.
Don't say it.
All right.
It scares me.
Does it really? Are you
Yes,
superstitious about that?
I don't even like to think about it. It's not. I have no way of relating to the prospect of prizes or any of that. So the talk makes me nervous. I'd rather be off busy working.
We'd rather the film did well. Wouldn't
That's
we?
right.
All that.
That the film live its own life, and let's forget about ourselves.
And that people go and see it, and that it, that it does hit as big an audience as we think it's worth hitting. That's the only thing that really we want to worry about.
Well, let's hope it turns out just that way then. Thank you both very much.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
All right, let me give you two quick questions then. All right. Michael, how much of it is fact and how much of it is fiction? Tommy Lee, what is it that you think keeps these people together? Do you foresee a time when they might totally split, get a divorce? One more question. Both of you have had the opportunity to work with Laurence Olivier. Tommy Lee, in any way at all, did he intimidate you? Okay. All right, one more I forgot. How much control did Loretta have over the entire project?